Hola, mis amigos. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 28, and we are a quarter of the way through the season, starting race 4 here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, in not so sunny Spain. It's a little bit overcast. You can see a bit of sun just outside the actual grid, and we've got a full grid. You love to see it, and which means we're going to see plenty of action on track. Here's the standard short qualifying 50% race. We do have a reduction in. About what time, Lennon? What time? I don't know what you mean. I mean a full grid. We haven't been far off, to be fair. We've only been a couple of drivers off. But we've had plenty of reserves fill in for us today, and expecting a bit of a. Well, yeah, I think it's been about time. We have had the full-time driver complement. It's just people aren't available, unfortunately. But we've managed to rope in, I think, about 5 reserves today to get that full grid. And why the fuck did my stream go off? That's better. Everyone's in. Everyone's in. Katamis is in. He's first on the track, and that means he's going to be first setting a qualifying lap. And what we will do is jump on board with him and watch how he goes as he opens up that DRS down the main straight, 1 kilometre straight, harsh braking zone. We're going to turn in late and take as much speed through turns 1 and 2 to carry through turn 3, and he's obstructed by a Williams. Is that either bench warmer? He won't be happy with that. It's not bench warmer. It's Magel has held him up, so Katamis won't be too happy with that. So we'll jump on with Benji as he comes round turn 5, where you take as much curb on as the exit. Don't do it too much though, as you will. Wear your tyres down a bit. A tricky turn, right hander of 9, where you want to go as much speed as possible, but if you're following cars which he goes wide, it's proving really tricky to start with. Who are we going to jump on with now? Let's see who's doing a lap. Who's coming in the Ferrari? Let's watch someone in the Ferrari. Right, let's watch Terry Reds then. Let's hope he's not getting obstructed here. Let's get the car. Just get out of the way. A little bit of a slipstream round turn 3 at the end of sector 1. And then follow the inside curb of turn 4, where you want to go out, then back in across the right hand side. And then follow the inside curb again of turn 5 and open up that throttle going downhill as Jack Daniels takes visual pole with a 13 flat. And then it's a difficult turn 7 where you've got to rotate the car in without losing your back end, climb back uphill to turn 9, where we've just seen Benja go flying off. Terry keeps it on the track. Oh, just warming up his tyres a bit here, so it's not going to be a hot lap as his DRS is open. Round turn 10, where we may see 1 or 2 overtaking opportunities. As Zombies in P2, Brady P3 currently. Callum, who's doing a lap on the inters, is doing a start at the back. Round the final couple of corners for Terry's. What's Katamis done? He's collided with his teammate, and he's got a grid penalty. And Terry's is not quite set a lap yet. It must have been a warm-up lap. I'm all in a tiz. I'm all in a tiz. Academy's got a 5 grid penalty then for colliding with his teammate. Callum, yeah, he's going out on a lap on the inters, the same as Barcelona, so both will be starting at the back. Callum, who is a league above the rest, so we've said previously, and will be starting from the rear and doing an extra pit stop to try and hamper his speed. Barcelona does have a quali ban, and potentially did he hold up his teammate and giving him a grid pen. Wah, wah, wah. So Jack's at the moment currently got P1 with a 13 flat. I would predict quali will be a mid-12s as Keezer goes currently P2 with a 13 flat alongside Jack's just over 100th behind, so it's getting very tight at the top. A couple of drivers filling in for us this week. Centre back and chest bowl, not new to the league, as centre back as we're on him on the mediums, goes provisional pole with a 12.9. So proving to have good qualifying pace for now. As Terry jumps up to P3 and splits Jax and Keezer. Oh, just 1,000th ahead of Keezer, so very, very tight. Magel currently P8. Probably going to get a qualifying ban. Looking like he's got connection issues at the moment. Qualifying ban for the next race. Sygate currently running P9, doing another hot lap on the same set of tyres. Katami's a bit unlucky, he said in the chat. His first lap was impeded, which we saw, and the second one he collided with his teammate. So yes, drivers filling in for us this week. So yeah, we have Callum reserving for Matman in the Ferrari, and just doing some interlaps. Just getting the setup home down. We've got Chess Bowl currently P11, who's filling in for Picnic in the Sauber. Picnic missed a couple of races, and he just get out of the way as well. Centre back, who is currently on provisional pole in the Alpine, filling in for Fellamy. We'll be hoping for some good points for the Alpine team this week. We've got Bench, who's currently in the pits. I think that was Josh. Who was that? Those Cats goes up to P9 on his first run out. Bench, who's filling in for Benedict, who's a last minute fill in for us. As the Mercedes of Benja goes up to P8. And then we do have Dorr in the RB joining Cats and filling in for Amadi. I don't think he'll be able to fill his boots as much, but I'm sure he'll do a fine job filling in for him. So Lennon out on a hot lap is invalidated. Struggling at the moment. It's invalidated on the first couple of corners, it seems, so hopefully he's got enough fuel to do another lap. We'll keep on Dore. Callum says those inters were shit. Potentially, yes, on a dry track. Hopefully the guys behind Chess Bowl and Katami set a better time. We got coming round. Dan Morris got himself to P2 of 12.990. So improving the McLaren boys looking racy today. Jax is just slower, so whether he's doing a warm-up lap. If we've got coming round, Josh is just coming around the final couple of corners. He's almost half a second up, which will get him to 13.3s and up to potentially P6, P7. He lost a bit of time, so P10. That's Callum done for now. Dorr gets himself up to P12, just behind his teammate. So a bit on par for them pair. As we'll keep an eye on Zombie then. He's just under 3/10 and gets himself up to P6 or 13 flat. And slots himself just behind Terry's and Keezer. So between Jax and Zombie, we've got about 300ths. And they're all bunched around turn one, trying to let the cars go. It can get very tight when there's a full grid. Keeping on Magel, looks like he's potentially on a hot lap behind the Aston Martin. Oh, a little bit of drifting coming round turn 9. We'll see if he's up or not. He's up 2.5 tenths, which will get him up a place above Dore for now. Just struggling with traction at the moment. It is a slippery track as Dore is retired from the session. So he's had enough for now. And Magel goes wide. That would have cost him a bit of time. and 14 flat, so does not improve. Katamis has improved and gone up to P5. Sygate stuck behind Chest Bowl, it seems. Chest Bowl on the mediums. Gets well out the way. We'll keep an eye on Sygate, see if he can improve. As I think Sygate's not going to improve his time, so he gets out of the way of the Sauber. We'll keep an eye on bench warmer. Apparently Benj has impeded centre back. We'll see if it gets reported or not. Down to the driver to report their incidents. But that is a shame. He's got plenty of time to do another lap, but it is a pain. Dore's lost a wheel coming into the pits, apparently. Ah, mate. It's because you're pushing hard. It's okay. It's all to play for. I think just get yourself around those first couple of corners and then you should be in for a good race. As Bench pushing it round the final corner and gets himself onto provisional pole, and he clips immediately by Terry's with a 12.4. 4/10 on Bench. Wow, what a time from Terry's. Woo! He went that fast, he could take the skin off rice pudding. And I was going to applaud Bench warmer. No, Terry's, get in Terry's. Can anyone eclipse that? As we'll stay with Ben to see if he's going to improve. I thought that said actually raped then, but it's actually rapid. Yeah, rapid time. Benj a little bit of traction. Coming out of 12. Round the final corner. It's going to be tight for him. He's got a slipstream off the Sauber ahead of him. Will that be enough? And it is. He's 2.5 tenths up. He's P10. But, that loss of traction might have hampered him. Meagle still. Hello, Marty. Nice to have you back with us. I think you were intending to race, but just couldn't get back in time. Currently our top three. Terry's on pole. Centre-back's got to stay in at P2. We'll go back to P2 with a 12.6 and not quite enough to get to. As Keys are up to P4. 12.8. He'll be thrilled with that. Can he? Oh, and look at that. 2 thousandths behind Benchwarmer. Has he got enough time to do another run? Can he squeeze any more out of this car? As we'll see what Dan Morris can do. Well, at least you can sit back, have a beer and watch the race. It's Jack Daniels' birthday today. Congratulations to him. He's big 30. He's sitting in the grid having a shit. He's that old and senile now. He couldn't pour piss from a boot with the instructions on the heel. As Dan comes around the final corner, can he improve from P5? He does go to P3 above Benchwarmer with a 6.13. 5 thousandths behind centre back. It's so tight at the top. As Capsock goes P6. It's incredible how tight this top is. Keeping on Cats, who's had a really strong start to the season. Currently P2 in the championship standings. Marty's blowing a party popper for Jax Daniels. Happy birthday. As Cats comes around the final corner. Currently P14, which he'll think he can improve on. P11 just for Cats, so he seems to be a bit more racy on the second part of the weekend. As Katamis gets himself up to P4 with a 12.7. These times are dropping. Happy to have you back, Marty. Always a great lad to have within the Discord. He's been busy with work. And he's working to watch. He sees centre back. Can I see him too? And at the moment he's on the top of the on the front row. We've got 2.5 minutes left to go, so everyone will be setting their final times. Josh is 6 seconds out. 2.5 tenths up for Meagle as he just started his lap. Let's keep an eye on Sygate is ahead then, who's just over 2.5 tenths up as well, which would get him. He needs to find some more time. He'll just gain a place currently up to P17. So this last sector's crucial. It's 8.5 tenths up now, so Sygate's flying. He's doing a Westlife. He's flying without wings. That will get him up to around P13. Can he push these final couple of corners? Keep his car glued to the track. He keeps it on track, crosses the line. And P13, 113 flat, exactly the same time as Benja. As Meagle's lost some time, so he's not going to improve. Katamise is retired and highest he will start is P4. As we'll keep an eye with Josh for now. So, Benja may face and Meagle may face the same as Josh actually pulls out of a hot lap. So we'll jump back on with Terry's. No way is he 6 tenths up. No way is he 6 tenths up. And I was going to say, this game was mugging me off. He's just slightly down. He needs to keep it consistent. Around turn 5, nice and smooth. Early on the traction. As he goes downhill, fling it round turn 7. Like a piece of shit off your finger. Fly round turn 9, keep it glued to the track, which he does. It seems like he's nailed his setup this week. End of sector 2, he's still just under a tenth up. Down on his time, sorry. Getting excited. As he comes round the final 3 corners. This is crucial for his last run. Can he gain time on the final couple of corners? Can he extend his pole time? He doesn't. Next is Chest Bowl. He's coming around the final corner. Let's see what he can do. His first run on soft tyres. He crosses the line and goes P7. Bench warmer. Got on pole just for a little bit. Doesn't improve, so just the highest start will P5. Zombie's next, who is up on his time. And goes P4 above Katamise with a 12.79. His teammates just behind him is currently P11. He is up on his time as well. And goes up to P10. 12 gets into the 12s. Benja's invalidated, so he'll be given a slipstream to Geezer on the final corner. Geezer up to P4, the 12.7 did improve. As centre-back goes on pole with a 12.4. Just ahead of Terry's half. 500ths. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Caps Lock goes P4. What can Dan Morris do? Dan Morris takes P3. Next up is Birthday Boy Jack Danielson, invalidated. He'll P11. He's gone senile array and it's very tight. It's tighter than a nun's vagina. Incredible. Half a tenth between pole and Terry's Red in P2. Congratulations to centre-back, his first outing of the season. And he drops it on pole position. Yeah, race time. Callum, he's going to be starting from the back, of course, with Barcelona. And he'll be doing an extra pit stop. As he wants a massive, massive challenge. What an exciting race this is going to be. Centre back will start on pole with a 12.4 flat. Terry's on the front row. just half a tenth behind him. Dan Morris P3 and Caps Lock P4. Tasty second row. Keezer and Zombie on row 3. Katamise P7 with Benchwarmer P8. Chessbowl P9 and Lennon round off the top 10. Jax Daniels P11 with Cats P12. Josh 13th with Benja P14. Cygate 15th. Briddy, a bit disappointed for him, P16. Magel 17th. Door 18th, who crashed in the pits. Barcelona and Callum will be on the back row. I'm just going to get a quick slurp because I am dripping like an egg sandwich. It's ridiculous. Oh, God. How's everyone's day? Mine was all right. I vomited this morning, though. Not because I'm sick. So basically, when I first got my dog, I just... Every time I had a shit and I had to pick it up, I kept throwing up because... well, fucking it hums, to be honest, and it's always warm, and your bags are thin as fucking testicle skin, and it was just horrible. And well, yeah, he basically got a shit today, but if I tell you that I couldn't pick it up, basically you could see Augustus Gloop floating by. It was that runny. I threw up in it and made it even more runny. That's my day. How's everyone else's day? And who do you reckon's on pole? Who do you reckon's going to win? Sorry. I'm going to have to be true to the guys that I reckon someone's readied up already. Oh, for fuck's sake. They're in trouble. So it's a dry race, nice and sunny, and centre-back will lead us round. Let's have a look at everyone's strategy. And it's a mixture of Door and Barca starting on the hards. Potentially looking at doing a one-stop. Quite a few starting on the softs, so it looks like they're going to be doing a two-stopper. And then we've got a good amount. Most people doing a mediums, especially in the top 10. So it gives them both options as Zombie and Benchwarmer come together. This is a 4.65 kilometre clockwise circuit with 14 corners, 8 to the right and 6 to the left. With 2 DRS zones, one down the 1 kilometre main straight and one down the straight following the tricky turn 9. There's a 38% chance of a safety car and 25% chance of a VSC. This game seems to not throw them out as much as they used to, and I'll be touching wood now because it'll be me that has jinxed it. Be interesting to see how Callum gets on. It's a 22.2 second pit stop, so he's got to navigate that as well as starting from the back, so will be interesting to see how he gets on. My guys for podiums, I'm going to root for Terry's Keezer to get on there, and I reckon Caps Lock will get on there. Dan Morris, who's got 3 podiums in a row, including the sprint race, so he'll be looking like he want to stay on with that streak. And it'll be interesting to see how we get on. I want this race to be good. I want it to be exciting. I want there to be action that'll get me off my seat and make me autograph my pants. As everyone gets into their grid slot. It's a full grid. It's a tight turn 1 and 2. It's a 595 metre run down from pole to turn 1 braking zone, so centre back's got to be on the defensive straight off. As everyone is just lining up nice and slowly, here we go. As it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. It's lights out and away we go. And centre back's got a great launch off. So has Caps Lock, who looks like he's going to get straight past Dan Morris. He does, up to P3. Centre back has defended from Terry's, and Caps Lock goes on the inside off the track, just bumps Terry's off the track, so he has to concede the position. Cat's already up 3 positions. Callum already up 5 after the first couple of corners. Lennon's one of the biggest movers, and Cat's already up to P6. We've got a bigger shaker and Briddy. It's gone. The Alpine is out. And we've got quite a bit of wing and carbon fibre. You can see Cygate's lost a wing. Chest bowls collided with Cygate at the back, so he's got a 10-second penalty. Ooh. It's a VSC for now. Callum making those softs work, but how will the tyres last? It's a very abrasive surface. And currently centre-back's got a 2 second, but is he within a delta? Hopefully nobody gets a drive through. And that's the Alpine out straight away. As we're still waiting. I do not want any drive-throughs. It's almost an Italian hand gesture if you do. Those cars are neutralised. Cat's gone in the pits. Bench warmers in the pits. DRS is now enabled, so VSC has ended, so quite a few cars have gone into the pits to get rid of some early tyres. I think it's all the soft runners, so I don't think they've got damage. Some do. A wing change for Callum as well, so he's caught up in the melee. So there's a 2 second gap here for centre-back, who's pulled out into the league lead. Caps Lock has gained advantages of Magel, getting past Dore in the Williams. And up to P11, making use of those soft tyres. Katami's gone into the pits as well, so these bottom 6 cars that are racing, Cats gets past Katami's immediately. Katami's just gone offline. And struggling on the soft tyres already. Unless he hasn't changed his wing. He's got bench warmer all over his gearbox. Terry's needs to try and reduce his gap down to centre-back. An early launch off the line from him. A great start, and he's capitalised with the VSC as well. And Caps Lock is sticking with Terry's. Dan Morris is dropped by those two, but he's got Keys Giza full company. And will we see people be able to make moves on the DRS as Magel, as Barcelona's now in the pit to get off these soft tyres. He's going off for hard. He's on hards. Dore's in as well. They must both have damage. As Benja getting himself up to P6. Oh, Italian hand gesture for Dore. Speed in the pit lane. Come on, my guy. Has he got damage as well? Oh, he's got damage as well. Ah, it's just not working out. As Katami's has gone in again. What's happened to Katami's? He's pitting every lap, I think. Crazy. Crazy. Josh jumps Dore. Sygate now up to P15. And P4, P5 have joined the battle for P2. They're all on different strategies here, so it'd be interesting to see how this race unfolds over the 33 laps. Caps Lock keeping Terry's Hall company. Caps Lock out of this front bunch is probably the most the one with the most podiums. So they had an up and down season the last couple of seasons. As Callum exchanging places with Benchwarmer. Callum goes wide. Was he forced wide? Terry's his goat. Come on, Terry's. As Benchwarmer stuck behind Cats. Cats is, I guess in Spain, is just not one of Cats' tracks. He is on the hard tyres as Benchwarmer goes wide out the final corner, which opens the door for Callum, who's now up to P12. Will he be close enough to make the move on Cats as well? Going down to turn 1. He has a look. He goes for it. Cat doesn't defend it. And Callum up to P11. And is now 20 seconds behind Magel and does have that extra pit stop to do as well. As Benchwarmer getting past Cats as well. Cats just struggling with it. He must not have a great setup today. He's lost now down to P13. Lock. Centre back's just kind of settled now. He's going to have to watch the wear on these soft tyres. Caps Lock's tyres as goes wide onto the final corner. And Dan Morris will be licking his lips. That's giving Terry's a bit of breathing space. Dan does not have the DRS, so that's respite for Caps Lock. But that slipstream was powerful. As Zombie and the Haas overtaking Benja up to P6. Great move from the Haas driver. Benja slots behind. Both Haas drivers looking good. Currently running both in 6 and P8. managed to keep out of the drama on the first lap. As Callum gets himself the provisional fastest lap. And Jack Daniels now up to P9. Going to be eating some cake afterwards. Don't know if it'll be a podium cake. What's he sticking with this train? So Terry's has got over a second gap now, and he's closing in. Now he doesn't have to think about caps lock, and is the tyres already wearing on the softs? He's gained about half a second, Terry's. Oh, rides the curb though on turn 12, which that would not have helped. He's lost loads of time to the P1 position, and now caps lock is all over his gearbox. You'll see he's got an arsehole like a yawning donkey. Terry's is going to have to actually spunk his ERS, which you can see his light flashing as Dan side by side with caps lock going into turn 1. Is he going to make the move? They're side by side. There's a bit of carbon fibres flying. Dan gets himself up to P3. Brilliant move from Dan. He wasn't giving up there. And there's that famous phrase or something like, it's not racing if you don't go for the gap. And Keyser just waiting with intent. He was hoping that they would collide so he can capitalise them. But he's there and he's in play for a podium. Terry just needs to get his head down again, concentrate, don't get those penalties. And just close that gap again, which he's gained 3/10. So I think those soft tyres are wearing pretty thin, and it won't help caps lock being caught in this dirty air. Zombie has dropped Benja as well, who's got the other Haas keeping him for company. He'll be trying to nip that position from him with the aid of DRS. And Benja, one of those ones on the soft tyres, which will not last that long at all. The tyre wear with softs is crazy on this, and you can see Benja's light flashing too, so Lennon should be able to make this move stick. We got a yellow flag, and it's Aston Martin, it's Sygate, who's dropped it coming round turn 7 and 8. And we do have a safety car. We do have a safety car. It's been a while since we had one, but we've unfortunately lost Sygate. Those guys on the soft tyres. Oh, Jax Daniels, happy birthday, mate. You've got a drive-through. What a plonker. As everyone is. And I don't think this will count as a potential pit stop for Callum. I do predict potentially that everyone will jump in the pits. The guys in the soft tyres definitely will. As Chespo gets himself a drive-through as well. Come on, guys. It's basic. It's basic. Don't speed. Under the safety car. Simples. And let's see everyone dive in the pits. There's just about 2.5 seconds between the Haas boys. We might get double stacking there as centre-back does come in. Dan Morris managed to get himself ahead of Terry's. So currently in P2, he does pit. Terry's goes in too, caps lock, follows through in his pants. Geezer, Zombie carries on. So he's not choosing to pit. Interesting call from Zombie, the only one choosing not to pit, and will take the lead of the race. Interesting call. Right, the strategies for this is that you can do a 2-stop or a 1-stop, and they're both... Oh, Chessbowl's got another drive-through. He's got 2 drive-throughs. What are you doing, Chessbowl? Mabel just stuck in the pits there. I think a bench warmer serves his 10-second penalty as well. Oh man, I'm roasting. I'm not like a potato. Where can I put this that's in reach? I don't want to put it on the floor because the dog will kick it because he's a prick. So, yeah, well, I think we said with Callum, if it's a safety car, he'll pit if he needs to again, extra. So we'll see how he gets on. He doesn't want to be winning at the front by miles. He'd rather drop back and fight his way through and get as high as possible. As Katami's choosing to pit again and getting off these hards. Not having a great race, Katami's. So yeah, I think Zombie's going potentially for the one stop. Which I suppose... I think with the safety car, it's probably a dog learning from its owner. What do you mean, Lennon? What do you mean? Oh, because I called him a prick. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think with the safety car coming out and everyone pitting, you probably should go on the same strategy because he's going to pit earlier. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. It's an interesting call. And we'll see how that plays out. Car's still spread out. Like a prostitute's legs. They're wide across the track. Katami's at the back going on a set of softs. Going to try and look racy on the safety car restart. And then potentially go back on hards to finish the race. Look at that. It's a pitiful crowd. Nothing like Silverstone. Half a million people. Woo! That support. As I think we'll probably be going around another lap. We're still waiting on Chespoldore and Katami's to catch up. There's Callum and Magel to-ing and fro-ing. I think Game said that Callum's got to go past. Neil Mabel's gone off track. Everyone's warming up the tyres. It's not in, as we say, unless it's going to be a late call. We'll be going round again, so this will help Zombie. But he will be on older tyres, although the cars behind him will be on a harder compound. So it's not going to be easy. So again, everyone's in it for a chance for a podium here. No stupid penalties. It's quite an easy track. You shouldn't... it's quite straightforward to keep between the white lines. It's a wide track. There is some tricky corners we've mentioned, but Bender's had a tricky time. What? Who the fuck? That must have been Magel's car. His car just went into... It's just went into the crowd. And I think Magel's having... it's got tricky connection. You can see his car juttering. We'll check with him next week if he's got a wide connection, and if so, reboot it. If not, get wide connection when you're racing online, mate. It helps you and the other drivers. So the safety car will be in this lap as we wait for Katami. He's taking his bloody time as he's pit again. And Zombie will lead us round. So first time he's led a racing Lights Out League racing. Been one of the great additions to the league this season. And his safety car is in. So Zombie will hold the pack up as much as possible as he waits for the safety car to go into the pits. And you can't overtake until the timing line, which is reasonably... comes up quite quickly. So if it was me, I'd probably go round turns 12 or 13 and just put my foot down. The centre back will be waiting with intent. No one wants to get caught off here. Dan Morris sniffing the back of Terry's. Terry's got an arsehole like an empty headlock. As Zombie's still holding the pack up. He's going as late as possible here. And he's gone. He's caught centre back a little bit off guard. But not enough that he's not going to try and get past him. tries to defend. Centre-back's in the slipstream. As Magel ignored the yellow flag. I think he overtook before the timing line. And Zombie retains the lead. Dory ends up at the back. Overtaken by Katames on those soft tyres. We've got another yellow flag. It's all fine for now. As Benja and Lennon exchanging places. It's quite tight round turn 4. As the Haas goes really wide, but he's got the inside of turn 5. Jax Daniels on the outside of Lennon. Gets squeezed a bit, left plenty of room though by Lennon. Lennon has the inside of turn 6 and 7. Jax will spurt around the outside. Brilliant overtake from Jax Daniels and brilliant defending from Lennon. As Katames and Chespol and Dore making their way up the hill, and Katames has to slot behind. As Magel and Kat side by side. I don't know if Magel's connections help there, but Kat's is P13, is Caps Lock. Dan Morris exchange places. And Caps Lock now up to P4. And DRS is now enabled and will be activated on the next DRS as Jax Daniels has to go in for the... an Italian hand gesture for Jax Daniels. My guy is Callum's now up to P6 ahead of Keyser. Chespel has to serve his drive-throughs too, otherwise he'll get disqualified. It's just not a Jax Daniels day. Maybe he's had a bit to drink today because it's his birthday. As Magel is... something's happened with him, so he's letting everyone through. Promotes Katz and Barca and Josh. Barca up to P12, who's starting P19. Just kept about his own business. Katames getting past Chespol. Chespol again lets a couple of cars through. He's gone a bit off track. Very tight here. As Caps are taking a look at Terry's, but not just yet. The big train down to P8 behind Zombie. And this is going to be a fight to the finish, I think. Lennon's just slightly dropped back. And just needs to get his head down. He's got Benchwarmer and Katz behind him. Barcelona in tow. He needs to look forward and try not to look behind too much. As we'll check with DRS, can centre-back make the move? He does. On the run down to turn 1. Callum having a look on the inside of Dan Morris, who tries to defend. Oh, Callum tries to go in on Caps Lock. That wasn't a great move from Callum. Expect better from that guy. And I don't know, after looking on board on that, it looked like a lunge attempt on Caps Lock after getting past Dan, whether he couldn't stop his car. Now down to P14. Hasn't seemed to hamper Caps Lock too much. Doesn't look like he's got damage. So continue as well for now. Whether he expected the door to be left open and Caps Lock closed it. That was very unlike something from Callum. Yellow flag, and that is... We've lost Chespol. Running out turn 3, and it's another safety car. And this throws Cat among the pigeons. Speaking of cats, meow meow motherfucker. P10. Oh, centre-back gets the speed on the safety car. Drive through for centre-back. And what a kick in the teeth for potential one of the race win contenders. Oh my God, and this race is throwing everything up. So Zombie does pit now and takes this opportunity, and it will be onto the hards. Can he do about 20 laps on the hard tyres? We will see. So net lead of the race is Terry's Reds. As Dore, Italian hand gesture. Oh, he's not having a good day today, Dore. That's a Dore. Woo! When your car hits a line, you bounce on the seat, you bust your spine. That's a Dore. Doo! Bada bada bing, bada bada bing. So, Chespol just pushing like crazy going out of turn 3. I think he's clattered the wall. He did have those drive-throughs, which I don't think he served, so he probably would have ended up disqualified anyway. Everyone else choosing not to pit apart from Jax. He's getting on some fresh tyres after it's no damage lost after serving that drive-through. Right, today's been deceivingly hot, man. Like, it wasn't too bad earlier, but I'm literally, like, I'm just sitting in my thong. Okay, so Callum's locked his tyres. Maybe it's the Challenger today. You want to push as much as possible, harder than normal. Maybe you just put yourself under a bit of extra pressure. But yeah, Callum locked his wheels, which, yeah, is very rare for him. So explains why he ended up going deep in turn one. And it happens to the best of us. Well, I say us. I use ABS assist, which is now the only, apart from obviously the corner line, is the only assist I use now. Thunderous applause, everybody. I have no track control. I have manual gears, and I am learning. I can't do that. You've done all three, yes. It's whether you feel like you need to do another one. Or do you reckon that you're going to absolutely spunk it to the front? Yeah, if you try and get them to the end, see how you can get on. But if you absolutely boss it through and then feel like you need to do another pit stop, down to you, mate. Like I said in the chat, I'll leave it with you. You know that you don't want to just spurn off into the distance. And if you feel like that's going to be the case, then do it. As Jax pits again and goes back onto the hard tyres. Okay, so Callum's challenge from now, from P16, is to tyre save. It's going to be about 20... what are we on? About 17, 18 laps. So, challenge accepted. It's possible, but it's going to be tough near the end. As we wait for Jax to join the pack. So, safety car should be in this lap. And centre-back will lead us away. It'd be interesting to see if he dives straight into the pits and a squeaky bum time. I already had that. It's fucking soaking. If I lied on my side, it looked like a pair of lips, and like they were dribbling my cheeks. Will centre-back dive straight into the pits? Or will he do a lap and then do his service drive-through? That's such a shame. It's been dry. It had a fantastic race so far. He's got to wait for the safety car to go in, so he's got quite a quick pace here. He didn't go as slow as Zombie did, who's come out of P12 after his pit stop. But he's gone. He's caught Terry's napping. He's caught Terry's napping, and Terry's is already under threat from Catslock and will have to defend as much as he can. Catslock's got the slipstream, but I think Terry's going to spunk his ERS as much as possible. Catslock has a look on the inside of turn one. Terry's defends it, and that's a brilliant defence there from him as Callum in this other Ferrari gets himself up position, and Zombie on those fresh tyres squeezes Magel, probably with his lack of connection. People are struggling with that. As Josh and Zombie both go through Catamies. Oh, is he locked with Zombie, who goes onto the grass. Zombie down to P17. Was Catamies being a bit too aggressive? He's known for it sometimes. As he's just behind Josh now, who's just got a track limits penalty. I'm sure we'll potentially hear about it in the steward's room. Terry's just managed to give himself a bit of a gap now. He'll want a bit of DRS on centre-back, which he won't get. Oh, Dan Morris goes wide. Round turn 10. And Geezer all over him like a rash. Bringing his teammate with him. Mercedes now looking roasting. And they're looking to bag some big points today. And centre-back still not serving in his drive-through. Oh, well, just pulling Terry's along. You see a bit of a gaggle behind. Anyone close enough to make a move? Not as yet. Well, as I say that, Zombie makes a move on the inside of turn one and defends brilliant on turn two. You looked at Dore, looked like he's trying to do a switchback, but Zombie closed that door. Brilliant overtaking defence from Zombie. Put himself up to P16 after that collision with Katabi's. Lennon gets himself a track limits. As Barcelona losing a couple of positions. As all his cars bunched up. Katami's on the inside of Josh. And trying to force his way through turn 7. Katami needs to calm down, I think. And pace his time. He gets himself a track limits. Trying to force his way through the letterbox as Callum on the inside of Barcelona. Barcelona does a switchback. Brilliant move back there from Barcelona. But Callum then, bumping wheels. Not Callum's day today. Which I think it'll be music in everyone's ears. But he's back down to P15. And he's going to try to go to the end on these tyres. But that screeching turn will not help. And Jack Daniels now back up ahead to P14. But Callum instantly gets a better launch out the final corner. Side by side with the McLaren driver. And we'll have DRS going down. But Jack's going on the inside turn 1. Callum slots behind him. And Magel in the middle of the two. Callum's going to have to be careful of his connection. And takes the inside of turn 3. Magel goes wide and Callum's got that move. And breathes a sigh of relief and both go through. Terry's still stuck here with centre back and pulling caps lock with him. Dan Morris Keyser, as what's happened with Zombie here, is fighting with Magel. Should be a move on the outside of turn 7 from Zombie, who tries to be able to switch back on Magel. Dore saw that door open, dive straight through. Brilliant move from Dore. Our centre back's got to go in the pits now, save this drive through. And that will release Terry's and caps lock. Centre back carries on. I think he's got this as his last he's disqualified. Why did he not serve his drive through? My guy, what have you done that for? Weird, why don't you just serve it? So Terry's goes through and takes the lead of the race. Centre back, what did you do that for? And Terry's has been looking and quite racy. We'll try and break out this gap as Magel and Zombie side by side again. And again opened up to Dore. Dan Morris just eking that small amount of time to try and get back in that DRS. And he's got a train down to bench warmer behind him. Cat's now up to P7 after that tricky start for him. Terry's just looking like he's saving some energy for the straights. As caps lock struggling to stay with him. He's a valiant P4 here. Don't get any stupid track limits, Geezer. I'm rooting for a podium for you. And Terry's and caps lock. His bench warmer flung his car around the final corner like a stripper throwing off a bra. And he gets himself ahead of Benja up to P5. And brilliant overtake. And makes that stick. Bench warmer now filling in for Benjamin. Getting him some decent points as Zombie managing to make the move past Magel now. And looks like he's made that stick. Good battle between these three. Callum's got past Jack Daniels and closed in on this train. And he's at the back, currently running P12. And it's going to be difficult to get past these lot as they're stuck in that DRS train. And if Katz closes in as well, it's going to be a train behind Dan Morris. As Benchwarmer goes wide round turn 9. We just saw that then. And gets himself a track limits penalty. And if it stays as congested as this till the end, he's going to lose 1 or 2 positions, unfortunately. You've got 13 laps left. Been a thrilling race so far. As Benja's just dropping out a bit. I thought Dan Morris was going to catch this front 2, but at the moment Terry's is still stuck with caps lock. He's got the DRS as Benja's actually pitting and getting off these mediums. Caps lock not quite close enough yet, so Benja doing his final pit stop. He'll be hoping that a few around him who do have a few laps on these tyres, so it's whether 1 or 2 of these do actually do a pit stop or not. It'll be quite interesting to see people's strategies. And it's opened up this gap as well now for Katz, who's brought Lennon in play. Benji will come out at the back of the grid, but he knows that plenty ahead will have to pit, so he's going to hope that this pitting now will be a big undercut or not. He needs to gain a couple of seconds. Oh, Katz goes off track. Or was it Lennon? I think it was Lennon, actually. Capstock's still struggling to make moves on Terry's. I think these guys, Capstock's definitely got to pit. There's no way he's going to go. It'll be interesting to see if the hard guys will try and go as long as possible. Will Capstock be able to make a move now around to turn 1? Terry's has got some banging straight line speed, and Capstock just can't close in. As you can see behind Benchwarmer taking a look at Keyser, but he's not quite close enough yet as Magel and Dore. Magel's actually pitting now, getting off those used mediums as Callum and Barcelona exchanging places at turn 1. And next up for Callum is the dangerous Catamese. Oh, bitch. As Benja already gains a place from and capitalises from someone's pit stop. And we'll be looking to just pump some time in. And we'll definitely get to the end on those tyres. Almost a second and a half now behind the front two. So they are gradually getting an advantage. As was that Callum getting a good exit out of turn 9. And it's a move on Josh down to turn 10. And easy enough move for the Ferrari driver, who easily should go to the end on these tyres, you'd think. You'll have to look after him though. P8 for the Ferrari, as Katz now does decide to pit and get off these mediums. Barcelona follows him in. I think he'll be going on to mediums, as Callum and Lennon exchanging places down to turn 1. Callum's got his foot down, he's driving angry. Benja getting ahead of Katz and Barcelona. Got 2.5 second advantage over him, so be interesting to see how that pays off for him near the end. Got himself his first podium in the sprint last week at Miami, Benja, and it'll be interesting to see how he ends up in this race. He'll be nearing the top end of the grid by the end, I'd like to think. Terry still keeping Capstock at bay. Dan Morris doing the same with Keyser and Benchwarmer. Who's going to shoot first? Who's going to pit first? No one yet. As Keyser getting out of the slipstream, saving some heat on his tyres. Brave, great thinking there from Keyser. Currently running P4 and has that position comfortably for now. Catamese and the Red Bull chasing down Josh. Josh again just keeping Catamese at arm's length and looking at closing in at this Callum and Lennon battle. Lennon sticking with Callum as we're coming out down turn 5, downhill and then climbing back uphill to do 7 and 8. I probably think that Callum will pit again, as they're coming together with Josh and Catamese here, as Josh goes back through. I think Catamese might have let him through, unless I might have been giving Josh a disservice. And he did a brilliant switchback, as Callum now capitalises on Benchwarmer, who's the first one to pull the trigger and to pit. He's got nothing to lose. with his track limits as well, so trying to get a bit of an undercut. Now where will Benja go through as Katamise and Josh exchanging places now, and Katamise making the move to turn 1 and getting himself up to P7. That's Adore, goes through. Benchwarmer doing a stint on the soft tyres, so he's going to be extra racy. Comes out just behind Katz. And we'll be looking to make mincemeat of that pussy. He's still slapping caps lock here, and Dan Morrison, the train behind, have just... Dan Morrison Keys have now just pulled into the station, and we've got ourselves a train for P1. I have a feeling Terry's is going to try and get to the end of the race on these tyres. I'll be surprised if they pit now. I'll be surprised if Capslock makes it without getting a puncture. Especially stuck behind Terry's car. As now Dan and Keys will both have DRS. Well, Dan doesn't have it. Capslock takes a quick look as Katamise in the pit now. He's been pitting more times than a prune. As Benja gets through. Benchwarmer looking to make a move on Katz. Just slots back in the section, so good speed there from Katz to retain the position. And retains that P11. Well, that's 26 out of 33. Will any of these front runners pit? Jack Daniels now to P8 with 17 lap old hards. How will he fare? He's stuck with Josh at the moment. As Benchwarmer finally gets past Katz. Katz has the inside line of turn 5. Benchwarmer still just has enough of the track as it's still side by side going downhill. Benchwarmer trying to do a switchback, was too close to Katz to turn in. Ended up just scraping his wing. Alan's joined this train now. It's a 5-car choo-choo train. Opens up that DRS. Keys are just slots behind. Looks to potentially do a switchback as oh no, Italian hand gesture for Lennon. Oh, he's sped in the pit lane. I'll be a bit miffed with that. Callum now up to P4. Josh goes in too and goes onto the hard tyres. Lennon on the mediums. Katz getting past Benja. But Benja does a switchback. Coming out of turn 2. And is ahead going round turn 3. Brilliant. It was that Benchwarmer, sorry. Has Katz overtaken 2? You're joking. You're joking. And he gets Benchwarmer gets himself another track limits as well. Unlucky, son. Terry still maintaining this front pace. What are they going to do? Surely no way Capstock's going to do another 7 laps. And Dan Morris now pits. He's deciding to pit, which promotes Callum onto the podium places. This is getting spicy. Dan Morris going on the softs and will be racing hard till the end. His teammate goes through up to P5 now for Jack Daniels. Zombie goes through P6. He'll definitely be going to the end. Katz, Benchwarmer, Benja, all going through. Lennon's just coming around the final corner. I think Dan will come out just ahead of him. So Dan out on P10. Let's see what he can do with basically a 5-lap sprint. Callum, although he says he's not sure if he can get to the end on these tyres, he's got better tyres than the 2 guys ahead of him. As he's closing in, he's pulling Geezer with him. Can these guys get to the end on these tyres? We've got 5 laps left. Callum pushing caps lock all the way around. And should get a better launch out of this final corner. And you can see tucked up in that slipstream. side by side, getting down to turn 1. Callum has the inside and makes that move stick. Zombie promoted up to P5 as Jax now does decide to pit with the 20-lap-old hard tyres. Which says a lot about it. These Caps Lock. I'm sure it must be struggling on those medium tyres. Will we see anyone pit, or will anyone get a puncture? He's still leading the race. He's got half a second ahead of his teammate. Surely Callum's not going to take away Terry's potential first win. That'll be an ultimate bitch lap. Callum's potentially best just holding the pack up behind him to let Terry's pull away and get the race win, and then potentially get the 1-2 for Ferrari. Terry's goes on the defensive. Callum does have the DRS. Will he look at making a move to take the lead of the race? Terry's defending hard and retakes the position as Keyser on the inside of Caps Lock and gets himself up to P3. Brilliant overtake from Keyser. And Caps Lock's tyres must be killing him now, as Dan Morris takes the current fastest lap with a 15.1. He's hunting Benja down, currently running P9. On lap 30 of 33, can these front runners get to the end? Zombie doing a brilliant race, currently running P5, and he's cutting that time to Caps Lock, who has got broken out of Keyser's DRS, which just put Keyser in prime position for his first podium for Lights Out League Racing. I don't want to jinx it. Cat's tucked up behind bench warmer. He does have those penalties, so if Cat's is going to get past, it's probably not best fighting too hard. Benja just plodding along, doing well for the Mercedes team as well, but he's got to fight off Dan Morris on those fresh soft tyres, and he's absolutely rattling. Another penalty here for bench warmer. He's going to be dropping down like a sack of spuds. Terry's still defending that P1. I have a feeling that Callum's just coasting behind him, as Dan Morris does make the movement up to P8, and Katz gets past bench warmer. Brilliant overtake by both and gaining themselves positions. Jax Daniels takes off his teammate. 14.9, fastest lap for Jax Daniels, currently running in P14. Can he potentially jump Josh with his track limits? So every point matters in the course of the season, and it'd be good to get himself at least some accreditation on his birthday. Caps Lock tyres have died. He'll have to be looking his mirrors for how quick Zombie is now. 5 seconds. He's cut his time in the space of a lap, I think. So potentially when we get to the final lap, Zombie could be battling Caps Lock there for P4. Keeping Terry's honest. Come on, Terry's, you're on the penultimate lap. I think Callum's just letting him have it. As Benchwarmer does pit and retires. Oh, Benchwarmer, what are you doing, my mate? As Benchwarmer does retire on the penultimate lap with all those penalties. Just called it a day. But thank you very much for joining us, Bench. Always good to see you on track. Dan Morris now to P7, and he's within DRS of Cats and Zombie, which are catching Caps Lock at a rate of knots. Already gained a second with a lap and a half to go. Can they close in? Caps Lock will be pushing as much as he can without getting a puncture. Terry's coming round. Turn 12, 13, 14 for the penultimate time. It could be the ultimate betrayal if Callum decides to go and nip him now. Let's just watch just in case, because it would be absolute bants, but it would absolutely be horrible for Terry's. Callum is just sitting behind. Yeah, very good team play there from Callum. And Terry is on course. Just keep it within the white lines, my friend. As Dan Morris closing with Katz as well. Is Katz going to make the move on Zombie? He does, and Katz gets himself up to P5. Brilliant move from the Visa RB. Dan has to slot behind Zombie on those used hards. Dan on those fresh softs. Can he make a move round turn 3? He goes on the outside, loses back end. Keeps it, no Dan, no! Oh, he tried to hold the car. But that dirty air round turn 3, he pushed. And don't blame him for trying, but he's come a cropper. That's unfortunate, Dan. You were going for it. And Zombie is able to breathe now. And currently running P6. Katz is all over the back of Caps Lock now. I wouldn't be surprised if Katz makes a move around the final couple of corners. Caps Lock defending the inside. Katz trying to do the switch back. He does. Caps Lock can't do anything about it. But what we will do is jump on with Terry's Reds. Ferrari will take 1-2, but congratulations to Terry Reds for taking his first race win for Lightsail League Racing. Callum takes P2 from starting at the back. Geezer, congratulations to him getting his first podium as well. P3. Katz has made the move. Stick. He will take P4. Brilliant move. Katz Lock hung on. 26 lap old medium tyres. Zombie P6. Brilliant drive from him on his used hards. Benja P7. Lennon drops down behind Barcelona. Great result from the Red Bull driver starting P19. Dan Morris P9. After what he did, Jackson Andrews had to settle for P10. Josh P11. Lennon drops down P12 on those penalties. Katamis P13. He's missed a pit stop today. Magel will come home P14 as he's coming around the penultimate corner. We'll have to talk to him about his internet next week. And then Dore filling in for Amadi will take home the final finishing position. And we've had an absolute stormer today. What a race that was. And it was a brilliant watch. I'm lost for words. A brilliant race. Absolute brilliant race. Some action all over the track. Yeah, well, it's a discussion we're going to have, Dan. But we're trying to make it fair for everyone. Terry's on the top step, raising that trophy. Drink that sangria. Callum will take P2. And Keezer P3. Terry Reds is the race winner. Fastest lap goes to Jack Daniels. Driver of the day for the game is Callum, and he gets most overtakes, obviously, for starting at the rear. And Terry's Reds takes the race win. Congratulations to him. He'll be absolutely chuffed. Callum takes P2 and 1-2 for Ferrari. And Keezer, he'll be chuffed as well. Getting his first podium, P3. Katz, P4 from P11. Katz up P5. Zombie, 6. Benja, P7 from 14. Brilliant drive from him. Barca, P8 as well from 19. Damar's 9. And Jack's ran off the top 10. Josh, P11. P12 for Lennon. Katami's 13th. Magel, 14th. And Dore finishing P15. Well, it's a discussion we're going to have, Dan. Just calm. We're trying as much as possible to make it so everyone races. You know, we're trying our best, mate. That's it. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't lose my voice then. That was round 4, and we're a third of the way through the season now. And next week, we've got a special race, and it's a double header. Round 5 is a double header, where we're doing one-shot qualifying for 2 races. First race is a 25% at Monaco, 50% race following that at Jeddah. Tricky, double points on offer. You get rewarded for completing those tricky tracks. And I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about. My name is Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.